I recently unlocked the 25 Gbps internet speed on my MacBook Air, which gave me a new perspective on Mac expandability. Many of you may not know that the Wi-Fi performance of MacBooks is not really that good. Even with the latest MacBook M4, its Wi-Fi rate is only up to 2400 Mbps, and it would be even worse with the MacBooks before 2023. And the latency is inconsistent. But when I used this little device, the network response time was reduced to 1 millisecond, and the internet speed shot right up to 25 Gbps. Of course, while pursuing the ultimate network experience, do you also need efficient office software? Take our sponsor, WPS, for example. Before we continue, here's the sponsor of this video, WPS. If you're looking for efficient and reliable office software, WPS Office is a top contender. It's one of the best free alternatives to Microsoft Office, offering a suite of tools that cover all your needs. Founded in 1988, WPS has a 36-year history and is now in use in over 220 countries and has over 600 million monthly active users. What stands out is its all-in-one design. It combines documents, spreadsheets, and presentations, PDF tools, and an AI assistant in a single interface. No need to switch apps. The core features, documents, spreadsheets, and presentation are completely free with no ads or registration. Basic PDF tools like reading and annotating are also free, while advanced features are affordable compared to other PDF editors. Documents is function-rich with a clean interface similar to Microsoft Word. The spreadsheet is Excel compatible, fast, and great for data-heavy tasks. The presentation offers a smooth performance with the PowerPoint-like animations. PDF tools let you annotate and merge PDFs without extra software. Meanwhile, the AI assistant can generate outlines, translate documents, and extract information via chat PDF. Moreover, WPS is lightweight and runs smoothly even on older computers. It's fully cross-platform with a flawless file sync across Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android. The interface is very friendly, almost identical to Microsoft's Office, making it easy to learn. The template library is also a time saver. Additionally, the free version covers basic needs, while the Pro and AI versions are competitively priced. We don't have to worry about any privacy and security breaches at all. That's because WPS has been working with AWS since it started its overseas operations. With the assistance of the AWS team, WPS developed a lifecycle management strategy and established an automated lifecycle management process through Amazon S3. In conclusion, WPS Office is a feature-rich, stable. Like I said in the title, this device costs only $40, which is even cheaper than the common 10 Gbps devices on the market. How did I do it? Well, it's actually a cost-effective DIY solution that optimizes your Mac's network performance through a series of adapters. And it doesn't just work on Macs, it works on PCs that also support USB 4 or Thunderbolt 3. The core of the solution consists of two parts, a Thunderbolt to M2 converter and a network card that we purchased from China's version of eBay, the Xianyu. First, let's talk about the converter. It's based on ASMedia's Thunderbolt controller chip, which is primarily responsible for converting the Thunderbolt signal into USB 4.0 to PCIe signals. This seems to be very common and nothing special. However, if we buy a converter made with Intel chips, the price will not be so beautiful. The high-speed card is a Connect X4 24 Gbps card made by Mellanox. As I mentioned earlier, we purchased this card from Xianyu. If you take a closer look, you will see that this NIC is made of two PCBs. After disassembling it, you can find that this NIC is made of a native PCIe interface, but another kind of OCP interface commonly used in servers, which is called Open Compute Project, an open source project with standardization and openness characteristics. As a result, it is easy to find interface definitions on the internet and design converters that can be used in all kinds of PCIe-enabled devices. This low-speed card is being phased out of data centers and cloud service companies because of the popularity of the AI wave, which makes it possible to buy it for a very low price of $14. Next, we need to put them together. First, I removed the heatsink from an unused NIC. I'm going to assemble this cooler with the Thunderbolt converter chip, which, as I found out in previous no-load tests, is incredibly hot. Felt like it was going to smoke at any moment. So in the end, this is roughly what it looks like when assembled with the motherboard, heatsink, M2 to PCIe, and the NIC. But at this point, it's still pretty fragile, so it needs a few more things to help. At this point, it's still very fragile, so it needs a few more things to help hold them in place. So I modeled the core in SketchUp and then designed a mounting device based on that model. After 2 hours of printing, I had my first version of the converter. However, I quickly realized that there were a number of problems, such as not considering how the heatsinks would fit into the frame and the lack of support, which caused some errors to come out poorly. Also, the lack of support for the PCI flaps made the card very unstable. This printout of the frame looked perfect, and while there were still some rough spots, it was basically ready to be put together and used. However, I quickly found a few more problems here, such as the distance between the protruding piece that holds the motherboard in place and the heatsink seemed to be a bit too short, causing the holes for the screws on the motherboard to be out of sync with the original design. So let's print again. Look, here's the final result. Let's hook it up to the MacBook Air. This conversion board provides a SATA power supply. This motherboard needs a 5 volt and 12 volt power, but from what I've seen, it really only needs a 12 volt. Look at the PCB routing, that's what it looks like. Let's hook up a 12 volt power supply and test it. And then we will wait for the Mac, and then we will turn on the network. Look, 25 Gbps network. Here we're using iPerf 3 to test the bandwidth. This time we managed to get up to 23 Gbps with a read speed at the level of PCIe Gen 3 SSD. So this is a new video format attempt for our channel, DIY. With a DIY solution for only $40, I managed to increase the internet speed of my MacBook Air to 25 Gbps, speeding up the network response. The leap in performance was achieved through a homemade adapter. Although I encountered problems with the heat dissipation and fixing during the assembly process, I finally succeeded in realizing a high-speed internet connection after many improvements. Okay, hope you like this kind of content, and we will see you in the next time.